There are multiple reasons a business might want to better track its visitors. It could be to enhance safety, security, and efficiency through the visitor check-in process, and for some, compliance with government regulations might also be top of mind. For many manufacturing businesses, for example, complying with international traffic and arms regulations, or as many in the industry know it, ITAR, can be a great way to prepare for expansion. ITAR has many moving parts, many conditions must be met to achieve compliance, and for Beau D'Arcy, owner and general manager of Quadrant Tool based in Schaumburg, Illinois, ITAR compliance meant leveling up across many areas of his business, including the visitor check-in process, as ITAR has record-keeping requirements regarding visitors. However, prior to becoming a customer of the Receptionist for iPad, Quadrant Tool didn't have much of a visitor process to speak of.
Historically, there was no process at the front door. It was very loose, and the door would be unlocked, and a lot of times folks would just sort of knock once and open the door and walk in. And if there wasn't somebody at that desk at the front door, people would be able to mill around in the office area or walk up to people unexpectedly. So it wasn't a great situation either for security or for safety. And so we needed something to tighten that up.
As a high-end precision manufacturing facility, Quadrant Tool was well positioned to move into the defense and aerospace industries, which put ITAR compliance on Beau's radar. This meant locking down the facility and protecting visitor data, necessitating the creation of a visitor process. Not only would this change help Quadrant Tool comply with ITAR rules, it would also solve another major problem: person nearest the door syndrome. This happens when visitors encounter an unattended front desk, and then they wander to the first person they see, causing interruptions and security issues.
The main problem we had prior to being registered for ITAR was personnel-related safety and security. We weren't required to have that sort of system by our customers at the time. And so the real issue was that somebody would be working at their desk and all of a sudden a stranger would be behind them asking where somebody else sat, or asking if they could leave a resume, or, Uber Eats dropping off food for some other person and they didn't know where to go.
With ITAR requirements in mind, Beau began researching ways to become compliant, including downloading some paper logbook templates. Still, he wasn't quite sure how to securely welcome visitors to his facility. It was then that he realized that there were software solutions that could help him create a process.
I didn't know what I didn't know at that point. So as I was doing the research, I started to realize, okay, the basic functionality here would be simply tracking somebody entering and leaving the building with timestamps and their information. Then I started getting further into that, which was needing a name badge while you're on site at our facility so that people could identify them as a visitor and know that they had been checked in. And then further than that, even realizing that it would be important to be able to designate guests as being U.S. citizens, or what's defined as a U.S. person or not. And so the ability to have the name tags flag that one way or the other, because those guests are handled differently per ITAR.
When he eventually locked onto visitor management systems, Beau quickly saw that there were differences between all of the software offerings he found.
So as you peel the layer of the onions back, you find all of these other things that you realize you need as part of the ITAR program. And the separation of services available happened very quickly at that point, in identifying the one that we would need to choose and move forward with.
So why the Receptionist for iPad?
Honestly, just initially very forthcoming about ITAR specifically, because that was part of my searching online. I wanted to find something, if I was going to pay for that kind of service, it had to be truly ITAR compliant. And there were other services out there that might mention ITAR or have a blog post about ITAR, but was not specifically stating that they were compliant and could address that portion of the requirements. And the Receptionist offered that on their website, and that was really important to me as a buyer.
When it came time to implement their new ITAR-compliant check-in system, Beau was prepared for the possibility of a difficult implementation, but the experience was actually very different in reality.
It was very easy to set up. The settings is pretty intuitive, so it's not difficult to tailor it to exactly the way that you want it. For us, it has the non-disclosure agreement built into it, which is great, but it will remember people based on their email address. So if you have somebody that's coming regularly or every other week or something, they don't have to go through the entire process every time. And it's also great to have the option either to fill the forms out on the iPad, or there is a QR code so people can do it on their phones, which I think people are more comfortable doing it that way, and it's faster for them. But then the information immediately pops up on the screen and connects to the badge printer in the same way at the end of the process. So we love it. It's been really easy to adopt for us. It checks a lot of the boxes for ITAR, and it's definitely something that's worth the cost and makes life much easier for all of us here in the office.
Ever since Quadrant Tool expanded the scope of their production, their visitor process looks a little bit different.
Our flow is that a guest will come in, they will complete the form on the iPad. It's connected wirelessly to a label printer for the name badges. So when they complete the process, the printer kicks out the label, which is inside of our office. And then again, the person they're here to visit is immediately notified. And then that person comes up to the front door on their own, and they can see that the name tag is sitting there on the little table, so they know that the person has completed the process. And the name badge has that person's photo. It's taken through the iPad. So it's really nice. You can really easily look at that name badge and say, okay, this is for Joe. Here you go, Joe. Put this on, and make sure that you wear it during your time here at Quadrant Tool.
And now that they can more securely handle visitors, Quadrant Tool has indeed seen the benefits of ITAR compliance.
We, as a manufacturing company, we were initially certified for AS9100, which is sort of a level up from a traditional ISO certification. That enables us to conduct business with aerospace and defense companies. And then typically as a requirement of that, ITAR comes along with it. But between ITAR and AS9100 and CMMC, which is another thing that's quickly coming in the pipeline for cybersecurity, we are definitely seeing opportunities in those spaces. And we are currently working on components that are going into a space program vehicle. So it's fun and it's exciting to grow into that sector. And I do believe that there are a lot of opportunities there for us. So I'm excited about the future for Quadrant Tool in that space.
If you'd like to find out how the Receptionist for iPad can help you level up your business, join a tour of our product by going to thereceptionist.com/product tour.